era, from drone surveillance and regional operational centers to advanced training institutions and simulation facilities for crisis response.
The strategic plan emerges at both a roadmap and a national commitment, building on gains of the National Counterterrorism Strategy, aligning with the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act of 2022, and reaffirming our vision of a secure, resilient, and stable Nigeria.
The Senate President Godswill Akpabio affirms Nigeria's resilience remains firm even as terrorists evolve in tactics and technology.
With this strategic plan, we declare to the forces that threaten our peace that Nigeria will not yield, West Africa will not yield. We stand together with the unwavering conviction that this land shall be secured.
The National Counter-Terrorism Center says it is deepening partnership with security agencies, civil society, and the private sector to build a modern coordinated counter-terrorism network. The 2025-2030 strategic plan reflects the center's commitment to address national and regional security threats. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And the Defense Intelligence Agency's conference has opened in Abuja with a focus on reviewing evolving security challenges in the country and developing new intelligence operations. Our defense correspondent, Ismail Musa, again reports.
By leveraging innovations in data analytics.
It is the opening of a 5-day conference organized by the Defense Intelligence Agency in Abuja with the theme Multi-Source Intelligence Innovation in Changing National Security Ecosystem. The goal is to review the country's state of security and develop new intelligence-driven operations.
The integration of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data analytics into intelligence work has proven to be a transformative force globally. By harnessing technology to support human expertise, intelligence agencies can identify patterns more accurately, predict behaviors, and uncover threats with greater precision.
Recent rise in security threats continues to mount pressure on authorities. From kidnapping of students to violent attacks on communities, the country grapples with multidimensional security threats.
Intelligence no longer stops at our borders. Our adversaries coordinate internationally. Therefore, Nigeria must maintain strong regional partnership that enhance collective security. Our leadership is not only strategic, but essential to regional peace and shared prosperity.
We must continue to strengthen our cooperation with allies and partners in areas such as capacity building, intelligence sharing, and the acquisition of advanced surveillance and analytical tools.
Much as the stakeholders have resolved to develop new methods of confronting the challenges, for those affected by insecurity, relief will only come when there is lasting peace in the country. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Discussions and engagements held between the Nigerian delegation and U.S. officials will help strengthen security partnerships between the two countries and open new avenues for cooperation to protect Nigerian citizens. The delegation, led by the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Rebadu, met with senior officials across the U.S. Congress. In all engagements in Washington, D.C., the Nigerian delegation refuted allegations of genocide in Nigeria, emphasizing that violent attacks affect families and communities across religious and ethnic lines. The delegation rejected wrongful framing of the situation, saying such allegations will only bring division among citizens. Following this, the United States government affirmed its readiness to deepen security cooperation with Nigeria. The United States also expressed its willingness to extend complementary support, including humanitarian assistance to affected populations in the Middle Belt and technical support to strengthen early warning mechanisms. Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdrazak has received the 38 rescued abductees who were kidnapped in Eruku, Ekiti local government area of Kwara State. Aisha Abubakar Yahaya reports.
The abductees were kidnapped at the Christ Apostolic Church in Eruku, a border community between Kwara and Kogi states, last Tuesday. For 6 days, the victims remained in the kidnappers' den until their release on Sunday through President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's led efforts. After regaining freedom, the abductees were immediately moved to the government house clinic in Ilorin for urgent medical care. Governor Abdurrahman Abdurazak, who received the victims, was grateful for the president's quick intervention, pointing out that total victory will be celebrated when other abductees in Kebbi and Niger states are also rescued.
We thank President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his hands-on approach to bringing them back home. All the agencies coordinated properly in having this done. You can see that within a short period they were out.
One of the freed abductees, Bamidele Emmanuel, recounts their ordeal in the hands of the bandits.
It was unimaginable because when we got there, we really know that it was a dominated area by these people called bandits. Even they have the courage to tell themselves that we are bandits. And they make us know that there's no one that can just slip away without being caught.
They are expected to be reunited with their families after thorough medical examinations. Aisha Abubakar Yahaya, NTA News.
The Delta State Police Command has demonstrated its operational readiness and tactical efficiency following the decisive arrest of a notorious armed robbery and kidnapping syndicate terrorizing communities in Delta State and its environs. Acting on a distress call regarding a robbery incident along the Asaba-Benin Expressway, the Commander Eagle Net Special Squad, SP Danyaya Inusa, swiftly mobilized surveillance teams of the squad in a coordinated operation with operatives of the Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service, led by DSP Abu Joshua, to the reported scene. In another intelligence-led operation, operatives of the CP Special Assignment Team, led by the Commander ASP Julius Robinson, recorded success in the fight against cult-related violence within Sapele and O'Hara. Acting on credible intelligence regarding the activities of a cult group, operatives stormed strategic locations at about 5:30 a.m. on 24th November 2025 and arrested the suspects who confessed to be members of the Aye confraternity. Were also arrested with exhibits like one pump action gun, 6 live cartridges, 1 cutlass, 1 Toyota Sienna vehicle, allegedly used by the syndicate for surveillance and operational logistics. All suspects are in custody. There is need for stronger collaboration between federal and state governments to ensure that the Safe School initiative is sustained. Security experts on NTS program Good Morning Nigeria also identified community engagement, deployment of technology, emergency hotlines, and rapid response teams as other factors that will prevent attacks on schools. Alika Okbanachi Arewa reports.
Guest on Good Morning Nigeria says, without sustained efforts, Nigeria's goal of inclusive and quality education for all will remain out of reach. They therefore appealed to the government to declare states of emergency and prioritize Safe School initiative in Nigeria.
The school-based security management committees, the way it's envisaged, it's going to have membership from different components, including families, including PTA representatives. So I'm calling on first the Ministry of Education, but also the civil defense.
The guests also maintained that Safe School initiative is a collective responsibility, hence the need for more sensitization, periodic review, improved coordination and management, in addition to monitoring and evaluation.
There is what has been called as ward-level development committees, which is still in existence. There is settlement development committees, which are still in existence. Those are structures that has been set up by UNICEF before. So I think the Safe School initiative should take advantage of those committees, and then they should be utilized as a ladder.
If the 3 levels of government can show commitment, our people are ready to follow. We are not a difficult people.
Accountability and transparency on the parts of leaders and policymakers was also canvassed. In Abuja, Alika Okbanachi, Arewa, NT News.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has vowed to defend Nigeria's democracy by constructively playing opposition role that will engender good governance and national development. The immediate past presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2023 general election was speaking shortly after he formally joined the African Democratic Congress, ADC, in Jada local government area of Adamawa State.
Because rancor is part of democratic processes. So let's put that one aside. And having said that, I believe we are in a legally, constitutionally recognized, political platform. No doubt about that. And what has happened also to PDP is something that I had predicted, and it has come to pass. It requires experience and intellect, to be able to get these things right. Those who are sitting on the fence don't belong to anywhere. But I believe those who are committed to true democracy, good governance, prosperous economy, security, will definitely give it to the ADC.
President, you're still on to the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We'll pause here for some commercials. We'll be right back. Do stay.
Baffy Furniture's legendary final sale of the year is here. This festive season, enjoy extra savings on luxury and comfortable sofa sets, modern and functional dining sets, sophisticated and smart bed sets, and our royal collections. Classy, premium, and truly exclusive. Shop 10 million Naira and receive a complimentary Daisy tea set. Spend 15 million and take home a 65-inch smart TV. Go higher at 20 million and experience unmatched comfort with our exclusive massage chair. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online. It's big, it's bold, it's unforgettable. It's Baffy Furniture's legendary final sale of the year.
Paste manufacturer to win the National Productivity Order of Merit Award by the Federal Government of Nigeria, endorsed by the Association of Private Medical Practitioners of Nigeria. This is an evidence of 100% natural goodness, great quality, and great taste. So eat healthy to live longer. Use Arisco tomato paste and products. 100% natural tomato. Better food na correct. Buy now and enjoy up to 20% discount. Arisco tomato paste, the taste of Nigeria.
This is NTA News 24.
Many thanks for staying on. The All Progressives Congress, APC, in Adamawa State has inaugurated the Adamawa Progressive Elders Council, aimed at unifying the party ahead of the 2027 elections. The initiative, adopted at meeting attended by former governors, senators, ministers, among others, who resolved to support re-election bid of President Bola Tinubu in 2027. Bilkisu Abubakar reports.
The inauguration of Adamawa State Elders Council is a deliberate move by APC stakeholders to work in synergy with the party's national and state working committees, focusing on dispute resolution, fairness in internal elections, and mobilizing resources for a successful outing of the party in all elections. The elders vowed to remain neutral, prioritizing APC's victory over personal interest.
And all of us are going to work together as a family to make sure that whoever becomes an opposition presidential candidate from anywhere, including from Adamawa, would not stop us from delivering President Bola Tinubu come 2027.
In a 12-point resolution, the Council committed to unity, loyalty to the party, and President Tinubu's success in 2027 emphasized fairness, equity, and trust building within the party, aiming to present a united front in future elections. The Council's formation is regarded as a strategic move to strengthen APC in Adamawa State, especially the party's competitiveness in 2027. In Yola, Bilkisu Abubakar, NTA News.
For decades, internal rifts within Nigerian communities have occasionally hampered collective progress on national development. In Abuja, a counter-narrative has emerged at the 11th edition of the One Ummah Peace and Unity Convention, where Islamic scholars have convened to forge a united front, not just for faith, but for the nation. Sheikh Muhammad Dati reports.
The true measure of a nation's strength often lies in its internal harmony. These are scholars representing diverse Islamic traditions with a single mission under the theme, the role of knowledge in building faith and empowering lives. The convention is a watershed moment, not trivializing differences, but prioritizing a common destiny. The message at the convention is a commitment to peace education and a vigorous campaign against all forms of extremism.
The Muslims who have been the greater casualties of, or the greater victims of insurgency in our nation, unfortunately, we suffered two tragedies. There is the tragedy of insurgency, and there is also the tragedy of global neglect. Because as victims, they are not articulate enough to narrate their pain and their suffering.
The dialogue was intensive, with a key resolution centered on integrating traditional and Islamic leadership structures with modern governance to enhance grassroots security and prevent radicalization, a response to the enduring challenge of insecurity in the Northwest and Northeast.
Where a Muslim holding on to his religion will be like holding a hot coal, a burning coal. And this is obviously the time that we are witnessing today. Muslims are being attacked. Islam is being attacked day in, day out. Muslims are the victims in so many places, but unfortunately they are being blamed. Many marriages break, not because of infidelity, but because of emotional invisibility. A wife speaks, a husband nods, but he doesn't listen. A husband opens up, the wife interrupts or dismisses.
Delegates expressed cautious optimism, acknowledging that through unity requires sustained effort beyond the conference. In Abuja, Sheikh Muhammad Dati, NTA News.
A conversation on the rising cases of unwanted teenage pregnancies has taken center stage as Women's Voices in Focus holds its latest event with the theme, Hear Her Story, Women's Voices Amplified. Speakers underscored that girls do not impregnate themselves, calling for greater responsibility from the opposite gender in addressing the issue. Ifoma Ojinta reports.
The conversation highlighted the far-reaching impact of unwanted pregnancies on families and society. Stakeholders noted that beyond stigma and isolation, many girls suffer emotional distress that can lead to depression or even suicidal thoughts without proper support.
Create 10 minutes every day or twice a week. Talk about real sex and the consequences with your children.
The child of your neighbor you neglect and think that your own focus is on your own child alone. You're also creating a problem for your own child in the future.
Parents feel like they should give their child a certain level of freedom. I agree. Not all children should be caged, but it should have a limit.
For the convener, an actress and movie producer, Memuna Yahaya, the dialogue will provide the foundation for her upcoming film, helping her tell a more relatable and impactful story.
We don't just wake up and go and write a script and begin to produce. We bring people together like we have gathered today, and we have people talking about the issues of unwanted pregnancy, because that is the subject of our next movie.
The event was held in partnership with the Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association, the Nigerian Television Authority, and other supporting organizations. Ifoma Ojinta, NTA News.
The Nigerian livestock industry is fast gaining momentum for a solution-driven approach to take the sector into a more viable and productive realm with a competitive benchmark for growth and development. This came to the fore at the maiden edition of the National Council on Livestock Development, organized by the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development and Adamawa State Government. Correspondent Yusuf Chika reports.
Gathered in this hall are government representatives, policymakers, researchers, livestock farmers and investors nationwide to chart a new course for livestock development through strategic roadmap and reforms.
Livestock for life.
Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Mukhtar Meha, highlighted some of the key achievements recorded since the establishment of the ministry, to include foundation policy and research, infrastructure modernization, partnerships and investment, grazing reserves rehabilitation, among other frameworks.
From Borno to Abeokuta, from Bodinga and Sokoto to Calabar, everybody is here. This is the new crude oil. Livestock is the future crude oil for this country. It is regenerative, it is green, it is climate smart, it has shared prosperity for everybody.
Expected that these policies are built upon the foundation of existing policies and programs, refining and realigning them for optimal impact while introducing innovative approaches.
I reaffirm the full commitment of the National Assembly to provide legislative support, effective oversight, and policies that will unlock the vast potential of the sector.
Governor Ahmadu Umar Fintra of Adamawa State, represented by his deputy, said the state remains one of the largest producers of livestock products, calling for a robust federal government intervention to put the sector in the right trajectory.
Livestock development is not just an agricultural activity, it is an economic strategy, food security, and public health management.
The event featured inauguration of members of the National Council on Livestock Development and Technical Committee and the exhibition. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
The Center for Democracy and Development, CDD West Africa, is convening a major intellectual gathering, the Centennial Conference, billed for the 27th and 28th of November 2025 at the University of Jos. The event marks 100 years of late Frantz Fanon's birth, drawing scholars, activists and policymakers from across Africa and beyond. Suleiman Abdulwahab reports.
And Frantz Fanon is a sterling example of Pan-Africanism.
6 decades after his death, Frantz Fanon and the Allies' writings continue to echo across the global south. His ideas on colonialism, race, liberation, mental health, and power.
Information, technology, and development will mark 100 years since the birth of Frantz Fanon, one of the most influential anti-colonial thinkers of the 20th century. Holding under the theme, Fanon and the African Condition, Reflections on an Enduring Legacy.
At the briefing in Abuja, Director of CDD, Dauda Garuba, said the conference is more than a regular academic gathering. He praised what he called Nigeria's enduring commitments to democratic values.
As a continent, and this conference is a continent-wide focused, and abstracts for the conference were long submitted since August. That's a couple of months back, and we are going to have over 70 papers that are going to be presented addressing different things and challenges that are affecting Africa.
The 2-day conference in Jos is expected to reignite critical conversations on justice, dignities, and African liberation.
Artists and students to reflect on Fanon's enduring influence and legacy, and to examine the unfinished work of liberation and structural transformation.
CDD West Africa and its partners say they look forward to receiving delegates and members of the press for what they described as a landmark event. In Abuja, Suleiman Tabu Abdul Wahab, NT News.
And the death has been announced of Esu Basange and former military governor of Bauchi State, Abu Ali. Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo made this known in a post on his Facebook wall. The message shows that the incident occurred in the early hours of Monday, November 24, 2025, due to complications arising from old age. And that's the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Many thanks for watching. I am Chinenye Moe.